I never want to like feel like say that I'm a victim because I'm not. Like I got punished for something I said. But cancel culture is so toxic because they kind of loop in people who have said bad things with people who have done bad things. So I feel like they're putting the Kevin Harts of the world in the same basket as like the Kevin Spaceys of the world when it's extremely different. Like
Yes.
there's a difference between saying something that was meant to be a joke that came off extremely offensive.
Right. And somebody was hurt. They weren't thrown up against a wall and raped.
Right.
They saw something that was like, that didn't make me feel good inside.
Right.
Okay.
And you're entitled to feel that way, but like let's stop treating people like Kevin Hart and like people like me like I literally murdered someone. Like at the end of the day, I made a joke that was so terrible and also not funny and offensive. And I always try and think of cancel culture in the way it's like, okay, I couldn't really speak on what Kevin Hart said because I'm not black or gay. But let's say if someone made a joke about Jewish people, like how would I feel? So if anyone ever came up to me and was like, what you said on Twitter, like all those years ago, like still really affects me and I'm offended by it. Like I would still say I'm sorry. Like, and I am sorry, but at some point we have got to evolve. Like we have got to move on. And that's why I follow Jamila Jamil on Instagram because she like teaches me everything that I need to know. And it's like, you can be ignorant.
Jamil?
Do you know Jamila Jamil?
No.
Okay, she's on that NBC show, The Good Place.
Oh, okay.
But what she's really known for is like her activism.
Oh.
And she just really explains how it's like, it's okay to have said something ignorant, but as long as you're like, you're learning and growing in your ignorance, like, and knowing why and what you said was wrong, you're winning. Like, it's okay to not know everything. Like, every now and then, I'm just not going to use the right pronoun or the right things are, every now and then, you can't really use the word manpower anymore because, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's okay to not know everything, but as long as you're willing and open to, like, understand why the word manpower is problematic, that's okay.
Right, totally. And I remember when you talked about the R word, there was a time when that was a punchline for a lot of jokes.
Of course.
A lot of things. And I remember this guy walked up to me after a show, and there was two other comics that we all performed together. And he's like, loved your act. I really wish you wouldn't use that word. This is my son.
Oh.
And I was like, never. I took it out of my act. The other comic actually got in a discussion of why he chose to use it, why he doesn't think it's a problem. I was like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to say that anymore. I can come up with another word and I can come up with other jokes.
Yeah, of course.
So I think sometimes there's a point to being like, as a comic, no, I'm not going to water down my stuff so much. But then there's also a point where it's like, move on with America, people.
There is so much value in civil discourse. And in this climate, like, no one can just like have a conversation. Like, two people are allowed to disagree, and if that's the thing. If someone came up to me and explained to me, I used to do a joke all the time. I have the worst memory, and I used to joke that I have dementia. But there are people who are really affected by that disease, and it's like triggering for them. So after literally someone just DM'd me, they were like, my grandmother has dementia. It's been like so hard for me, and just explaining why it like really upsets them. I just changed it to I have amnesia now, which I guess is like less offensive. So it's like the joke is still the same, and I've never really been affected by amnesia. So. I mean, by dementia, so I guess I didn't know what that's like. But it's like just explaining it to me, tweeting me and being like, you're a dumb bitch. Like, that's not helpful. That's not going to help me grow. It's not going to help you grow. But sending me a lovely message about how you still love and support me, but you're just like, wish I wouldn't say this word. Okay, I can get behind that.
Well, I actually have the word Alzheimer's in my special coming up.
Very triggering.
But you know what? There is Alzheimer's in my family, and I'll probably get it.
And you know what?
And I think, who knows if it started already, since I'm so old and Skeletor. So I'm not taking it out, and I do make a reference to it.
But then at the same time,
I'll get ready for that tweet, girl.
At the same time, I feel very strongly that it's okay to make jokes about things that make you sad. Like, and just because you are offended or hurt by what someone said, like, that doesn't mean that you have the right to just yell it from the rooftops.
Yes.
Like, so someone has been affected by Alzheimer's and they want to send you a message about how they hated what you said in the special, and
I'll be like, well, I was affected too.
Right,
so
and that's your way of coping with it.
Yeah.
So
and my grandmother and my mom that had it think I'm a hoot, and they actually came down from heaven and told me to keep it in my special.
Good. Then that's your truth.
There you go.
That is your truth.
Let's talk